Welp, another day, another 3 hours wasted away on Tumblr. Let's see what's happening today.
Undertale! Oh, we're going to see that? Holy wow, guys!
Give me third! It's Papyrus! It's me favorite!
Guys, this is a really progressive game! There's like 3 gay people in it! That makes it good!
Guys, I found a GIF of an N64 controller. You guys remember that?
Oh my god, what do we have here? So one of the first things you'll notice about Cave Story, Undertale. Yeah, I see your game, Undertale. Undertale is one in a fad of retro-esque video games like Shovel Knight, Home, Yume Nikki, and especially looks like Yume Nikki. I don't know, I guess there's some sort of fan base for little girls in sweaters and shorts that keep their eyes shut. However, dissimilar to the likes of Yume Nikki's confusing as all hell layout, Undertale is very straightforward. A war breaks out between humans and monsters, humans win, monsters fuck off into the center of the earth, little girl falls into a hole, bam! Wizard of Alice. Its really simplistic storytelling is actually very welcoming, reminds me a lot of Paper Mario, even more so when you realize how cheeky all this dialogue is. The best example of this is this conversation with a rock. And while I started this little rock-themed puzzle with the expectation that all these rocks weren't gonna say a thing, like other boring games do, this rock not only spoke to me, but was extremely polite, if not a little bit ditzy. Come on, dude. I pass through this place every day to see if anyone has fallen down. Come, I will guide you through the catacombs. Oh gosh, oh, well, that's real nice of you. What a pleasant tutorial guide. Welcome to your new home, innocent one. I feel we've gotten a bit tad confused somewhere down the line. I am in fact not a goat child, but actually a little blind girl. I don't want to give you the wrong idea. like I'm going to be staying. Oh gosh. Okay, she's holding my hand. She's doing the hand holding. All right, please stop. Please stop it. Stop. Shit. Listen, I wasn't expecting you to be anything more than a tutorial character. I wasn't really prepared for any emotional attachment. All right. I see how it is. All right, I see how it is. My own room. I get it. The setup. She is a bad guy in disguise. My own room, being super nice to me. Oh, no. I'm smarter than this. I am fucking smarter than this. All right. I'm just going to go to sleep, wake up, realize she's trying to stuff me in an oven, and then kick her woolly mounted ass and move on because I am a tough as tits chick. Good night. Pie! Oh, pie! You stop that right now, Goat Mom! You stop that right now! I am burning inside! If you're going into this game, you've got to understand that it's a somber and pleasant experience. This is one of the only games that makes me happy and sad at the exact same time. Every character in this, even the bosses, have some kind of character trait that, even if you don't get invested in, you can still identify with. Everyone has their weakness, everyone has something weird about them, and everyone has their own personal problems, whether it's their job, their passion, isolation, status, etc. And while there are plenty of throwaway characters that are more so there for world building, they still have their own hints of personality that definitely add to the believability. And in some cases, there are tiny details that carry on throughout the story, helping to connect all these areas together. The best thing you can do with a fantasy world is make it feel real. And this game definitely does. Combat is dealt in either actual fighting or talking to your enemy. And let me tell you something right now. While the fighting mechanics are simplistic enough and, dare I say, even fun enough to hold the entire game, talking to your enemy is 1,000 times better. There's so many different enemies with different ways of peacefully getting them to back down. It makes each fight more of a puzzle and gives a greater sense of accomplishment instead of resorting to boring-ass brute force. Plus, in both cases, whether you choose to fight or act, you still have to go through the sequence of dodging projectiles, similar to a bullet hell game, but with a lot more creative set pieces. So really, combat doesn't make things any easier. The only reason you'd have for choosing combat is if you just wanted the monsters dead. Also, I'm just gonna say it right now, I feel so much more emotion and gratitude out of watching a sad ghost cry upwards and then seeing the tears turn into a tear top hat than imagining my tiny little girl hands punching into the cold ribcage of a grinning skeleton that offered me a plate of spaghetti, and I'm not making that shit up. He makes spaghetti, and he's got a brother, and their names are Sans and Papyrus, and that's the name of the fonts, and they speak those fonts, and holy shit! Rayman can just die in a fucking hole for all I care. This is my new favorite game. I don't even care. You know what? I'm deleting the Rayman reviews. I'm deleting them. They don't even matter anymore. I don't want to give too much away about the story. As with most good tales, it gets complicated a bit further down the line. But if you're getting into this game, keep in mind that the story and environment are what take up a great deal of this game. The combat is simplistic and is just there to get the job done. Environments are extremely well designed and very visually appealing. And being such a big fan of music, as some of you might have guessed, having this extremely ambient and beautiful soundtrack ties everything together perfectly. I can honestly say this is one of those very rare occasions when I have no complaints about the game. And before I start getting those comments about how Spy Fox was the best game ever or something, please stop. I know. I've played it. I've seen that tattoo.
Wanna see my tattoo?
When it comes to favorites, we're all going to have our own. Frankly, I've gone through 5 favorite games in the past year, so nothing is set in stone, and I don't want to overhype this game for anybody. This game is a retro-style RPG with a campy and sympathetic storyline. Its combat is simplistic and is mostly focused on environments, characters, and dialogue. If that's not something you've ever liked, then you probably won't like this. And if you do want to get into this game, jump in expecting a zany as fuck RPG like Earthbound, and you'll probably get that and maybe even more. But this game has gotten a lot of love, and the problem with too much love is that it sets expectations way too high. It gets so much attention and so much praise that it becomes more of an annoyance than a good thing. What they see is an impossibly good game, and they refuse to believe it's that good. I was the same with Shovel Knight, and so many people were the same with the movie Frozen. It has to suck. The general public only likes bad things. It's popular because it must be horrible. It's gotta be. I won't be the idiot that falls for it. When in reality, Undertale just got lucky, and now it has a big fandom. But for those of you that just don't get why people like the game, that's fine. Don't play it. Maybe write something angry on the internet if that makes you feel better. You're not going to like every game in the world, so don't try to. Fandoms come into popularity and then fade away into their own private space. Don't start thinking that Undertale is going to take over the internet. If it didn't work for Trekkians, it's not going to work for Undertale. But for the folks that got into the game and love the fandom, enjoy this moment. Because even if it does die out fast, it'll at least make a good memory.
Put a